This is going to be a match breakdown between myself versus multiple-time national champion from Penn State, Vincenzo Joseph. I'm going to be going into detail on the things I did right, some of the things I did wrong, and just giving you an inside look onto my match breakdowns. So let's get right into it. So starting out, this is a heavy hand fight. I'm staying low, coupling with my back hand. I always like making contact with my backhand. Let me just rewind that real quick. Right there. I like clubbing with my backhand. Sometimes I will club with my forward hand, but if you reach with your lead leg hand, they can shoot underneath that arm and attack your lead leg. A lot of times you want to protect your lead leg with your lead arm, and you want to make contact with that backhand. Tried a shot, got down blocked. Now we're in this body lock position. Now, I know Vincenzo Joseph is known for doing inside trips, and he's pretty good upper body, but I also am good with upper body stuff, so I actually feel comfortable in these positions. So right here, I'm going for a body lock, trying to get my hip in front. I feel myself in danger, and I got to get away. You feel yourself in danger, you got to start working out of that tie-up. And right when I felt him pulling those double underhooks up, I started backing away and trying to get out because I didn't feel comfortable anymore. He drops into a high crotch position. Look at his head positioning on that shot. His head positioning is right up into my chest. Let me go back just a few seconds. He has his Russian tie. He goes to a high crotch position. Look at that head positioning there. Right up into my chest, keeping my body weight off of him. I can't get my chest on top of him here. I should have done a better job of pushing his head to the side and getting his head position off my chest. Collecting the two. He did a great job of being out of bounds. I should have realized how close I was to out of bounds and tried to use that more to my advantage to kind of get a reset instead of allowing him to get the 2 points. He's going optional start. Still careful there. I know a lot of these kids like to hit cradles from optional starts or try to go for pin moves. Just right back after it. One of the things I'm really well known for is just a high pace. Some of these more skilled athletes will take me down in the beginning, but I normally use a high pace to, break them down and to get them tired. Post with that backhand, again, then go to my lead hand collar tie. I like this underhook. He seems to like me getting there too, but so I'm fine with it. I'm keeping good head position here, because I know he's looking for probably an inside trip to my left leg. We're hand fighting. I like getting inside ties, collar ties, inside ties. Just setting up my shots, trying to give a little bit of misdirection or build up some pressure to get the setups going. Now, let's look at how he got to my legs there. I'm getting collar tying with my backhand, doing a great job there. He just had me leaning a little bit too much. If you notice, my body's too far over my lead leg, and I'm almost falling into him. So he did a great job of building up pressure. I got to keep my lead leg underneath of me a little bit more so that when somebody pushes into me, I can have a little better balance. I'm not leaning and falling over top. So if we look here again, I'm here. Look at that. Feet square, that's really not a great thing you don't want to get in the habit of. My feet are square, very easy to fall forwards there. You don't have your forward leg to brace yourself. So that was the main mistake I made there. He clears my hand and gets to a double leg attack. I feed him one hip. When they hit doubles on you, you want to feed them one hip, right? So I get hit with a double leg, you want to give him one leg. Get him to one, which is normally the single leg. So I got him to that single leg and got back out of that position. Again, he attacks, hitting multiple attacks, and I'm attacking. You've got to make sure you're matching your opponent's pace. If you're just getting, attack the whole time and you're on defense, it's just a matter of time before you get taken down. Now, right now I'm in this head pinch position. Got my hands locked in the underhook. I love being in this position. I like doing throws and foot sweeps from here. But again, he feels comfortable in the overhook position, so he likes to wrestle from here a little bit. but I keep my head down because I know he wants me to bring my hips in to hit this inside trip, but I keep my hips away. I keep my butt back until I want to go for my attack. He slips off of a headlock. It's just putting him in a position where he has to force something that's not there. He tried to force, a headlock, wasn't there, slipped free. I got my takedown. Riding on top. Should have done a better job trying to mat return. I kind of let him go a little too easily. Not a bad position here. I'm always getting my underhook position. I love wrestling from the underhook, and he actually likes being in the overhook position, so it wasn't very hard to get to the underhook. Again, hand fighting here. I am wrestling square again. I think this is probably my biggest mistake in this match was getting my feet too close together. Just dig in, stand on his head. I stay in my stance a lot. I don't like coming out of positioning because a lot of times they'll come out of positioning, they'll stand up to get you to stand up, to bait you to stand up so that they can shoot underneath. So I want to stay in a good position and not break my stance. When he stands up, not stand up. Again, I have that heavy collar tie, just digging into my tie-ups, keeping good head position. Oh, let me rewind that. Froze for a second. Let's see where I made a mistake. He does take me down here. It's the fighting in. He's timed me fighting in, and once I fought in with my arm, he shot right underneath. But I think a lot of it has to do with again, I'm leaning too hard into him, so it's very easy for him to just clear my hands and attack. I'm not on my 2 feet. I'm leaning into him so much that if he does clear my hands, if he does get underneath my elbow, he's going to the legs. But if you notice that shot, watch, I try to fight in. He allows me to fight in and just drops underneath my elbow there. Great setup. I dig in. I dig in again, and then he drops. He drops that knee pull single. And finishes fast. One thing you'll notice is the best wrestlers finish quick. You have to finish the takedowns quick if you want to score on the better wrestlers. The longer you make the takedown, the more you increase the scramble, your chances of scoring decrease. That's not good too. If you notice, he's riding on the right side, and I have my left leg up. So if you see here, I have my left leg up. 2 things I should have done. Either I need to turn my back to him and push back and stand up, or I need to put my left knee down and rotate my right leg up to work out of that position. But I stayed there and got chopped. I do a pretty good job of bottom though. Bottom's probably it's one of my better positions. I never really have trouble getting out on bottom, even against high level wrestlers like this, multiple time national champs. Shooting a little wrist ride there. I should have been a little more urgent here. 14 seconds, I need to get this escape. I kind of allowed him to ride me out. I should have done a little bit more motion. Normally I go stick to my tripod stand-up, but with short time, you've got to do more. You got to do more than just a tripod stand-up. It's too slow to get out. If you only have 15 seconds, 10 seconds, you got to start sitting out, moving, trying to give yourself an opportunity to get out. I think he chooses down. And even with my ride outs, I should have put more pressure on top. I think I might not have done a great job of riding my opponent out in this match. I like to line up a little higher, got good forward pressure. I do double thigh pries to start. He tripods up to his feet, does a great job staying there. I have a nice foot hook, if you guys notice that. Look at his left foot. He's hooking my leg so I can't lift him in the air. He's attaching himself to me so I can't lift him. So that was a great technique by him. I should have just been more explosive. Again, look at my feet. They're so square. He's allowing me to get my feet and allowing me to lean into him so much. He loves this over tie, and you'll see I take him down at the end with this knee pull single. A little bit more wrestling happens before the takedown, but I love when people over tie me. It was weird, he likes overhooks and over ties. I love collar ties and underhooks, so we there wasn't as much hand fighting because we allowed each other to be in those positions. Dig into my collar tie. Inside tie, nice. Oh, that was good. I mean, I didn't get it, and he got this Russian tie on me earlier, but all we're doing is I'm just clearing, making sure there's a free shot there. I'm making sure I can get underneath. There's nothing holding me there. I think if I could have done a better job of setting it up. So once I got to that tie up, I need to build up more pressure. If you notice, he builds up better pressure so he can get to my legs a little easier. I just go once I get my tie up, and he's able to kind of sprawl away. He's not falling over the top into me. He's able to sprawl, and he gets to a Russian tie, kind of controls that position. Which is a great way to get to a Russian tie, is from those kind of sprawl positions. You sprawl, circle to the arm, get the Russian tie. Clear it out. I start digging in my positions. Again, he's just allowing me to be in that collar tie. I stay in a good stance, hand fighting hard here. Again, I think this was the same thing. Like, I dig in, he goes to the shot. The ref's a little bit in the way, but if you watch, I'm going to dig in with my right hand. You're going to see, dig in, and he goes underneath to that knee pull. Good head positioning. I'm trying to wizard. That was done by me. This weird arm thing doesn't make any sense. I should have tried to I should have stepped my left leg back very hard and then whizzer with my right arm. So yeah, you got to get a whizzer. I'm hooking the wrong arm. That was ridiculous. So my right arm should be hooking his shoulder, whizzering. I should have been able to throw that whizzer in a little bit to get him off me. But he had my leg hooked, if you see, which made it a little difficult to get the whizzer. So he did a good job of kind of hooking my legs there. Again, I got to get a fresh start. What am I doing hanging out there? I got to get a fresh start. There's no point in me standing up here because he just walks me out of bounds. A little more urgency. Get out of bounds. 10 seconds left in the first period. Should have been moving. Should have tried to get out. Every point matters in these matches. Every single point. I have a good bottom in general, though. Like, you'll see, like, most of my stand-ups are just like that in every single match. I tripod stand up. Make sure if they're riding on the opposite side, you just rotate up. You'll see fast finishes. Fast finishes. He goes from this over tie position. Let me go back quick. See how he set this up. I think he had head position, which made it tough. So, like, I get my underhook. Club, underhook. I start standing up. Let's see. Yeah. I kind of come up a little bit too much, and he drops into that fireman's carry. I don't know if I got my arm in the way, too. Whenever you have an underhook, yeah. Whenever you have an underhook or overhook, my bad, underhook, everybody hits a fireman's carry. Number one shot people hit from an overhook position is a fireman's carry. So if you like underhooks, you got to be more prepared. Like, I should have been more prepared. And what I normally do is, if I have an underhook and they're starting to do a fireman's carry or a high crotch, you got to down block with your other hand. Your other hand's got to get in the way to block him from getting your leg. And then he cuts the corner fast. I'm sprawling. He has a fast finish done. It's right there. You'll see I do a good job of keeping my base underneath me. Look at that there. Ready? He sucks me back, and I keep my hips underneath me. I don't allow myself to get extended. Let's go back to that real quick. Again, I kind of stand up. I don't do a good job at down blocking. But here, I'm sealing off, keeping my butt underneath me, head up, rotating up. Short time. Let's see if I get the escape. I don't think I do. It's like 13 seconds. You got to get out. 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 Come on. 8 seconds. 8 seconds. You got to kick, kick, kick. Think about that. If I got out both of those times with the short time left, which I've been good at bottom getting out. 6:10. It would be 6:10 right now, not 4:10. So escapes matter, and I'm not doing a good job of hustling and getting out in those last few seconds. Then he cuts me in this. That's third period. That's a good, if you notice that, when they go for cradle, head and chest up. Look at that one more time. Goes for cradle, head and chest up. And knee down. Head and chest up, knee down. Get my escape. And you'll notice, like, I don't stop. I don't stop. And I've won a lot of matches because of my pressure, but I do make mistakes. I'm leaning too far forwards, And here's another thing that I now as a coach, I wish I watched more of my matches. I wish I reviewed more of my matches and really tried to work on improving my technique every single day in the room. I think a lot of my practices I just went through the motions, and I got to a very high level wrestling. But if you can improve your technique every single day, come in. If I was like, hey, listen, I'm leaning too far forward. Let me get that leg underneath me. Let me work on down blocking from that fireman's carry. Let me work on being more prepared when I fight in for these attacks, right? Again, I'm working for these body locks. Tries inside trip. I have a good feel. I have a judo background. I've never gotten inside trip before in a match, so I get called for a stalling. But we're both attacking. I don't think it was too much like that. I had an underhook position, so I was fighting to a control tie. But he likes it. Like, you'll see, like, I get this the whole time, but I think it's because he wants to be there. Digging into that. Boom, right in. This is probably one of my best shots. So I get a collar tie. He has an over tie. I do a little, but you'll notice the other ones I didn't set up as much. Look at how I set it up. I'm pulling, getting him to step into me, building up this pressure, right? So when I go, boom, snap right into the shot. It's very fast. I start shelving it up. I have a little bit. I'm trying to be patient because I know he's going to kind of scramble from here. That was okay. See, like, this just wasn't good. I didn't plant him in the mat. Yeah, I get the score here with the go behind. Notice me, I'm grabbing the ankle over top. I really like that. Getting my score. Short time left. But, right, like, I may not have won, but a match would have been much closer if I got those 2 escapes. If I was hustling at the whistle, and I just let too many takedowns happen. It's a big mistake was the pressure build up, leaning too much on top of them. Not being prepared for that fireman's carry, which I always should be if you're an underhook guy. And yeah, now I'm a coach, so I don't have to worry about my own wrestling anymore. I'll just help you guys improve your wrestling.